Good evening, all. Today we will see with instruction set of 8086. It's a chapter 2 in microprocessor syllabus, instruction set of 8086. Now we'll start with firstly, what all statements are there whenever we will start programming in 8086. There are two types of statements. One is instruction, another is assembler directive. Right, as instructions are nothing but are directions you are going to give for a processing, right, to an processor. Right, so you are going to just give the directions. You are just giving, you are telling the processor to do these activities like moving, like adding, like subtracting, dividing. These instructions you are going to tell, you are going to give it to processor. Right, so it is called as instructions, which are going to help also to translate the machine language program into assembly language program into machine language program by an assembler. Right, next statement are called as assembler directives. Right, they are the keywords which gives the direction to an assembler. Right, so now what is an assembler? Assembler is an intermediate between machine code language and assembly language. Right, so whatever program you are going to write in assembly language, that is being converted into machine language by an assembler. Right, assembly language program is an low level language program. Okay, now whatever instructions are there, that instructions are going to contain operand and opcode, which are also called as mnemonic and identifier. Right, so mnemonic are nothing but it's a type of instruction which is going to tell a processor what thing or what work it needs to do. Right, so identifiers are nothing but they are called also as an operand, which are nothing but they are called as data. Like for example, I can give you here as add ax comma bx. Right, so add is an instruction and ax and bx are the registers which are going to store an operand in that. So types of statements in 8086 are two types. One are instructions and second is assembler directive. Both are going to be used in while coding any assembly language program. Okay, next, what are the types of instructions? Right, first type is data transfer instruction, second is arithmetic, second is bit manipulation instruction, which are also called as bit manipulation instructions. Next, string instructions. Next is program execution transfer instructions. Next, processor control instructions. We'll see one by one. Firstly, we'll start with data transfer instruction. As the name suggests, it's going to transfer the data from one location to another location, which will be specified in the instruction itself. Right, so these instructions can be, we can divide it into two parts, four parts. They are general purpose instructions or just a transfer of instruction, like from one register to another or from one memory location to an any register, or any immediate data to an register or a memory location. Right, so they can be done using these instructions. They are move, exchange, accelerate, push and pop. These instructions are used for the transferring of instructions. Okay, next is if I want to transfer any of the address. Right, like for example, if I want to find the start address of an array. Right, so what I'll do, I'll use I want to get a starting address of an array. Right, so I want to transfer that starting address or content where of an array, where the data which is being stored in the first location of an array. Right, if I want to transfer that. Right, so I want to need to get address over there. Right, so I'll use this type of instruction, that is lea, lds and les. Right, lea is load the effective address, lds is the load data segment and the register with the words. Les is and load extra segment with and register with an uh, with a word in the memory. Okay, next is simple. If I want to communicate with any input output device, then I'll use in and out instruction for that. Okay, if I want to transfer, for example, if I want, there is an interrupt, so I want to save the contents of the flag onto any stack, right? Or I want to just I want to use the contents of the flag for some purpose, right? So if I want to transfer some data to a flag or from a flag to any register, then I'll be using these four types of instructions, that is load AH with the flag register, store SAHF, that is store the AH register contents to a flag, then push flag and pop flag, right? So these F stands for flag over there. So these instructions we can use over there. Next, first type of instruction we will see with move, right? So whenever move is being written, so move have some syntax called as move destination comma source. So from source to destination I want to transfer, so you'll have to give move destination comma source. So firstly we will understand what this move is going to do, right? So it's going to move the data from source to destination. Okay, now source can be anything. It can be a register, it can be any memory location, or it can be any immediate data as given in the example. See, first is register, second is memory location, and third is any immediate data. If I want to transfer it, right, to and destination, now destination can be a register or can be a memory location, right? So it can't be simultaneously, we can't point to memory locations at the same time. So here I can't take two memory locations, right? So destination can't be a immediate data also, because I want to transfer that immediate data to a destination where I want to transfer, so it can't be immediate data also in destination. Okay, so before I have taken here one example, before before move instruction my contents of AX and BX were these, right? So after move instruction, after doing this move instruction, BH will remain same. I am, why? Because it's my source and my destination is AX. So it's going to transfer BX to AX, right? So AX will be changing the content with this content. Okay. Next we'll see with push, right? Whenever push and pop will come, it is related to stack, right? So whenever any interrupt comes, then I want to push those contents. Why? Because I want to service that interrupt, right? So for servicing that interrupt I will have to push the current contents of processing into a stack register, right? So I want to push it, so I'll use that time, at that time I'll push this, I will use this instruction. So from where I want to destination, I know I want to transfer it to a stack, right? So which contents I want to transfer, that source I will have to give in this instruction, push source, right? So from, for example, I want to push the contents of flag to stack, or I want to push the contents of a AX register to a stack. Stack I know it, so I am not giving it, and push and pop are related only to a stack, so we can't give here both, right? So I know the destination, I only want a source here, right? So push is written as push source. Okay, so whenever push action is done, so specified register or a contents are pushed to a stack. Secondly, it's whenever it is being pushed, whenever it is being pushed, see, for example, it is going to start from here. Mm, okay, okay, my contents are like my address is 00000h over here, and FFFF will be at the top, right? F F F F F H will be at top. Okay, so whenever I'll be starting pushing the contents, the stack pointer will be pointing over here at the top of the stack, right? So firstly I'll have to take the physical address, I'll have to calculate the physical address. Now stack pointer is pointing over here, and my SS is starting base address is 2000, so 2000 into 10 plus FFFD, so I'll get 2FFFD, calculating the physical address here, which we have studied it in chapter 1, right? So now I want to push the contents of AX. So now AX will be pushing. So first one memory location of a stack points to 8-bit, right? Storage is 8-bit. Second is 8-bit. So I will require two memory locations to save 16-bit of data, right? So lower content I'll be storing it at, and higher address content will be storing to next location. So it will decrement from FFFD to, it will come to E, right? Next SP will be pointing over here. 2 point that I can store over here, and it will go till 000h, right? So it is decrementing. So whenever I will be pushing any of the contents, at the same time my SP pointer will start decrementing by 2 if it is storing a 16-bit data. If it is storing only 8-bit data, so for example push AL, so it will be decremented by 1 location only. Okay, so push is like it's going to decrement. If I'm going to pop it, pop is reverse, I'm going to take it into AX register, right? So SP will be incrementing again, right? So pop is incrementing while push is decrementing. So first work is to push. While pushing, it will decrement the stack pointer by 2 and it will store it, and the instructions does not affect any of the flags over here. Okay, next, pop. Pop is reverse of that. Again, I want to pop the contents of the flag and I want to store somewhere, right? Where I have to store, that you will have to give in the instruction. So pop destination. What is the destination? It can be any register, it can be a flag, or it can be any memory location, right? So it can be any memory location you can give over there. So whenever a pop is going to be done, it's going to copy a word from a stack to any register. So whenever the register is going to be copied, it's going to increment the SP by 2. So it's a reverse action of a push. So it's going to take it into AX, and my SP is going to, sorry, the stack pointer is going to increment by 2. Okay. So next, this instruction also doesn't change any of the flag contents. Okay, next is exchange. Now exchanges means what? Move, it is similar to move only, but here the contents are both contents are being exchanged over here, right? AX content will be coming to BX, and BX will be coming into AX if I am using exchange instruction with AX and BX. Okay, so it's similar to move. It's just, it's instead of duplicating the source and destination, it will be just interchanging it, right? Okay, I have given here an example. So exchange can be done with a memory location with a register, or with register, or with register low memory location, again register. So operand neither operand can be, both operands can't be immediate, right? So you can't give here immediate operands over here. We'll see with an example. Firstly, for this we will start with taking the experiment. We'll start doing it. Okay, we'll switch it to EMU 8086. EMU 8086 is an platform wherein we can see this EMU 8086. I have installed it on my machine. It is a platform where we can use it for running assembly language programs. Okay, now whenever we are going to write any of the assembly language program, we require, I have told you, we require instruction as well as assembler directive, right? So 8086 supports a segmentation, right? So through programming we can segmentation is a virtual concept. It is not there actually in the memory, right? But we can show it through an programming, right? So we will do a segmentation over here. We will start with writing data segment, right? So segment here is an keyword, that is assembler directive, which stands that, which is going to tell an assembler that it's a start of data segment, right? So it will create a data segment which is going to save the data in it, right? So I have declared two datas, number 1 and number 2. So writing declaration of data is like this. Like in C you were using int a is equal to 10. Like a was the variable in which you were specifying the data type of the a also. Here also number 1 is the variable name, and db is defined byte, right? If I'm declaring a byte, so you'll have to declare byte. If I'm using a word, then you'll have to use word. If I'm using a double word, so you can use dd over here, right? So I'll, with this concept we'll see later on in assembler directives. For now you can just see that it's an 8-bit declaration, so we can use define byte over here. Similarly number 2, define byte, right? Now here I'm using temporary variable which is unknown for me. I don't know the data over here, but I'm going to use it in my program. So I don't know, so I'll put a question mark over here. Now I have declared all the variables, so now I will be ending it with end s. um, assembler directive keyword which is going to end it, right? So end s stands for end of the segment. Whenever you use this segment word, you will have to use this end s also, right? So to tell the assembler that I have ended the segment over here. Now next is to start with code segment, right? So we'll have to write a coding. So we'll start with code segment, right? So next is assume cs to code and ds to data. This is going to map the code segment with cs and data segment to ds. So this is going to map it. So the addresses whatever are there are going to be transferred to cs, right? So it's going to map it. Next, start is in c. You all were writing main, so this is the main was the start point of the execution. So here start is an label which is going to start the execution of uh, the execution, the starting point of the execution. Now these both statements are common for all the programs here. What this two statement is doing is it's loading the data whatever you have declared over here into data segment. The address is going to be loaded, right? If you not write this, then data will not be recognized. So two pointer data is also pointer and ds is also pointer, memory pointer. So you can't write move ds comma data. So you'll have to use a help of take a help of ax register and move it into ds. So data whatever starting address is there of this segment, so that starting address will be moved to ax and from ax to ds, right? So data is loaded in ds now. So it will be whenever I need a data, so I will be taking it from data segment and I'll be working it out. So next, number one, I have loaded it to al. Now this program tells me the exchange of two numbers without using exchange instruction. Without using exchange instruction, with the help of third variable, I am going to exchange the two numbers. Okay, so number one is I have loaded into al, number two bl. Why I have used al here? Because number one and number two both are 8-bit. So I'll have to use a 8-bit register only. I can't use AX here because I have not. If I'm using 16-bit, then I can use 16-bit. Okay, so both I have moved it. So using move instruction, I have moved it from source to destination, from source to destination. Next, I want to exchange it, right? So AL will be, I will be putting it into temporary variable. Then from BL, I'll be putting it into AL. Then from temporary variable, I will be putting it into BL. This I need not to explain it because you have done already it in C. The same concept we are going to write over here. Next, now I want to tell the processor that I want to break the flow, right? So it's a breakpoint interrupt, right? So in INT303H is a breakpoint interrupt which is going to break the flow of a program and terminate it, right? So next, after writing this, I want to end this label, right? So you'll have to use end. End stands for end of the program and start end that label, right? Whatever has been started. So next I want to end this. I have used a segment, so I'll have to end that segment also. So end s, right? We will see how it will be running out. We will go with this triangle wala emulate. I'll run it, right? Now for your understanding, see here it has started from here, right? So start of the execution is from here, so it is pointing here. I'll use single step. You can directly use run also. I'll use single step and you can concentrate on flags also, right? I'll use single step. Just concentrate here with an execution. Sorry. Okay. Okay, next C. I'll use single step. Data will be transferred to AX, whatever start address is there. So this is my start address 010. So that will be transferred to DS now. Check this. Number one is 5. It has been transferred to AL. Number 2, 06. It will be transferred to BX. Now I want to exchange it. Exchange. See, it has got exchanged. Now INT3H. Yes. Stop. It has stopped now, right? It's going to interrupt vector table for servicing the interrupts. So flag register, you can see, if you want to see the variables, you can see number 1, number 2 and number 5. It's in hex form. If you want to see in assigned form, decimal form, you can see like this also. Okay. If I want to use an exchange keyword, so I can use here, instead of using this, I can write it in one statement, exchange AL comma BL. Okay, so I'll delete this also. Okay, emulate, single step, again watch it. Okay, this is the end. Okay, now if I want to save it, save this program, save as, wherever you can create your own folder. So in desktop I will create my own folder, like for example I'll create an MP program. I have run here exchange. So exchange.asm. So I'll save it in MP program, save. My now program is saved. Okay. So we will stop here only. We'll continue with next part in next session. Thank you.